Good evening, Clarion. Thanks for joining us tonight on CUTV News. I'm Joe Jackson.
And I am Angéle Schembri. Tonight, a 60-year-old man is arrested for attempting to lure children into his home.
And a man in Clarion County serves the maximum sentence for abuse of corpse. It's our top story tonight on CUTV News. Joel Tanner Stark was sentenced to 1 to 2 years in Clarion County Prison yesterday. Stark was sentenced for abusing a corpse, a misdemeanor of the second degree. Stark had pled guilty to conspiracy to abuse the corpse of Devin Knapp. Knapp died of heroin overdose, which was injected by Sean Carr. Stark assisted Sean Carr in placing Knapp's body in Mill Creek Township. Stark and Carr staged an accidental overdose in January of this year. A letter given to Judge Arner on behalf of Knapp's mother requested that Stark be sentenced to the maximum sentence under the plea agreement. The Commonwealth acknowledged that the prosecution of Sean Carr would have not been possible without the cooperation of Stark. Carr had been sentenced 8 to 16 years for drug delivery resulting in death. Knapp's family was in agreement with both sentencings.
Local parishes review security after recent break-ins at Seneca United Methodist Church. Reverend Bill Hastings, the church pastor, says, "We really want to see the church as a safe place." Hastings says the thieves cut the screens on 7 windows before they found access to the building through a window in a storage closet. Once the thieves were inside the church, they rummaged around different rooms, chose to take some cash and the pirate's blanket. They did not steal any historical memorabilia or make any mess. Hastings is thankful that the damage wasn't serious.
Work is scheduled on Route 66 north of New Bethlehem, beginning earlier this morning and continuing throughout the day. The reason for the work is to repair a slide. Motorists should expect congestion and delays in the project area due to one-lane flagger-controlled traffic conditions. Please be cautious of these delays, and if approaching the area, slow down, minimize distractions, and drive responsibly in the work zone.
Dylan Hyman joins us now to take a closer look at Eagle Alerts and how to sign up and receive them.
All right, well, Angéle, as we all saw last week, CUTV's Kelsey Gestros went around campus and asked students how safe they were on this campus. And tonight we're going to take a closer look at how Eagle Alerts can help. Clarion offers these Eagle Alerts, which can be used to alert students whenever an incident happens on campus. The system delivers emergency text message alerts to a registered phone and email address to alert students, faculty, and their families if any life-threatening situations occur on or around the campus. For instance, if there is a suspicious character walking around, an alert will be sent out to any phone number that has been registered. Signing up for the alert takes only a few minutes by plugging in some of your cell phone number and email addresses. Clarion promises to only send out messages when the situation becomes life-threatening, and they also say that they will never give out any of your information. So, Joe, as you can see, Eagle Alerts are something that can be very important, but for some reason, not a whole lot of students have.
Police arrested a man from Crafton after he attempted to lure 2 children into his house. Authorities say the children were playing outside on Broadhead Street when 60-year-old William Keller approached them, asking if they wanted to earn $2 and a treat. When the children told Keller no, he became upset and began chasing them. Eventually, Keller gave up the chase and ran into a nearby home where police later arrested him. Keller faces 2 counts of luring children into a motor vehicle, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. He remains jailed on $250,000 bail. Clarion University students, start your engines. Zipcar is launching a new partnership that begins October 15th.
CUTV reporter Priya Royster has more.
On October 15th, Clarion University will launch a new partnership with Zipcar Inc. to offer a Zipcar sharing program on campus. The convenient transportation option is now available at an affordable rate, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Faculty and staff ages 18 and over, as well as members of the local community ages 21 and older. Clarion will offer 2 vehicles, a Ford Focus and a Mazda 3, which will be located on campus in parking lot 12 near the tennis courts next to Thorn Street. Clarion University members can join for $25. Then rates for Zipcar vehicles on campus starts as low as $7.50 an hour and $69 per day. After the first year, members will pay an annual membership fee of $35. Gas, insurance, a reserved parking spot, and up to 180 miles of driving per day are included in the rates. Zip cars can be reserved for as little as an hour or for multiple days. The official launch party will be outside of the Eagle Commons dining facility on October 15th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Representatives from Zipcar will be available to answer questions. Reporting for CUTV News, I'm Priya Royster.
10 suspected drug dealers have been arrested by police in Elwood City. Mayor Anthony Court says the arrests are part of a drug task force roundup to send a message about the use of drugs in the area. Court says he will not tolerate the behavior on the streets and is making a strong effort to eliminate such activity. The 10 dealers arrested were accused of selling heroin, crack, and meth. Their names have not yet been released. Chloe Winters now joins us for weather.
What can we expect?
Well, Joe, Angéle, I could tell you that we have been having some really great weather lately, but we will be expecting some scattered rain showers, unfortunately, this week, and I'll tell you exactly what days to expect those thunderstorms coming up after this brief commercial break. Good evening, Clarion. Thanks for joining me for your Thursday night weather forecast. We're going to start off with the almanac like we always do. Let's take a look right now. Our normal high was 63 degrees and our normal low was 39. Actually today, though, surprisingly, we hit a little bit higher with our actual high being 66 degrees and our low being 48. Our record high was once 86 degrees, if you can believe that, and our record low was once 19 degrees. The sun rose at 7:24 a.m. and it's going to set later pretty soon at 6:44 p.m. this evening. Right about now, it's 61 degrees and mostly cloudy. The winds are coming from the northeast at 4 miles per hour, and currently there is a 0% chance of precipitation, so it seems like the rest of our day is going to be pretty dry. As we take a look at our current conditions across our great state of Pennsylvania, we have Erie, Clarion, and Pittsburgh all at 61 degrees. On the eastern side of the state, it's a little bit chillier as we see State College is at 59, Harrisburg is at 55, and Johnstown is at 55 degrees. I don't know what's up with that side, but whatever. Overnight, it's going to be 53 degrees and mostly cloudy, winds coming out of the northeast at 4 miles per hour, and there's a 20% chance of precipitation. Only 20% though, so hopefully our night is going to be relatively dry continuing into tomorrow. We have a few showers expected, and the winds are coming out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour, and there's only a 30% chance of precipitation, only a 10% increase from overnight, so hopefully we'll be expecting a few scattered showers, not expecting rain for the rest of your week. As we continue on, we're going to be moving on into tomorrow's highs across our nation. We have Seattle at 55 degrees and Denver at 61, Phoenix at 81 degrees, and Dallas at 86, New Orleans at 84, so Miami also at 84, Washington and Boston at 63 degrees. Rapid City is at 48 degrees. I don't know how that happens, but it seems like the rest of the nation is going to be relatively warmer. seeing as there's a warm front in the lower part of our nation. Our 8-day outlook for the rest of the week, like I said, tomorrow we should be expecting some scattered thunderstorms, scattered rain showers on Friday and Saturday. The highs are expected to be 70. For the rest of the week, we have some rain to be expected on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, but for the most part, it should be partly cloudy, highs in the upper 60s and lows in the mid to low 40s and low 50s.
The weather for this weekend is looking pretty nice so far.
I know, despite the range that we should be expecting on Friday, the rest of the week should be nice, and the weekend partly cloudy. So hopefully the good weather holds up for the weekend. I know a lot of people are hoping that it's going to be a nice one, so I think it will be.
A scurry train collision, an 90-year-old skydiver, and a surprise delivery. The video that will have you talking isn't. Take a look at this package.
Take a look at this, a scary sight in Odessa, Texas. An 18-wheeler bottomed out on the tracks at a busy train crossing just as a train was approaching. The driver was able to bail, but the truck stayed stuck. Despite the dramatic crash, unbelievably, no one was hurt. They say you're only as old as you feel. Well, Jack Grayson is feeling so good, he decided to jump out of a plane in Sealy, Texas, to celebrate his birthday, his 90th birthday. Grayson says your attitude is one of the things that keeps you alive, and he proved just that by making a 14,000-foot jump.
Everybody who watches this, try it.
Little Owen Stevens made a truly dramatic debut in Atlanta. He couldn't wait to get to the hospital, so his parents had to deliver him in the back of an ambulance. Luckily, Dad is a paramedic and knew just what to do. Owen's mom says the hospital staff was a little surprised once they arrived.
And they opened the back doors and they said, "Oh, you have a baby." And we said, "Yep, we do."
Everyone in the new family is happy and healthy. For Take a Look at This, I'm Salman Sarfati.
Here's a look at the stock schedule.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Can't find your one-of-a-kind ingredient? Looking to challenge your appetite with exotic flavor? Your search ends at 6th and Main's unique array of groceries and ingredients. Specializing in the not-so-widely available, 6th and Main is Clarion's supplier of the striking tastes that shape a stylish palate. With their varied styles and unmatched selection, 6th and Main has got the taste you have only dreamt about. Let your taste run wild at 6th and Main.
I got no pulse. We're losing him.
Sergeant, he's in VFib.
Shock him.
Drives it real all the time. He just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
You just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him.
A 66-year-old man was killed in a crash on Route 22 in Westmoreland County late Wednesday night. According to the Westmoreland County Coroner's Office, Francis G. Cosick of Camp Hill was traveling east on the roadway when another driver hit the victim's vehicle from behind. Officials say Cosick's wife and son were traveling in the car in front of him and saw the accident happen in their rearview mirror. According to police, the other driver involved was speeding and was taken into custody for questionings. Detectives say charges are still possible as they continue to investigate the crash.
A grade school Brookline principal appeared in court yesterday and is now awaiting trial for indecent exposure, harassment, and corruption of a minor. Alfonso De Luis, a 37-year-old employee at Brookline Elementary School, is currently suspended from his job after being accused of approaching 3 different men in the sauna at the LA Fitness Club in McCandless. The serious charge of indecent assault was dismissed due to no definite testimony of physical contact. However, he will be standing trial on other several charges. The 3 men, including a 17-year-old accused of De Luis of exposing himself and just suggesting they perform sexual acts. Based on these charges, the Brookline principal is expected to face trial.
An unprovoked attack took place in the Central Valley High School cafeteria as 2 boys were assaulted during the second lunch hour. Surveillance cameras showed that what the first seemed like an ordinary discussion between 2 brothers at a lunch table turned out to be a conspiracy. The 14-year-old brother walked towards a special needs student and struck the victim multiple times in the head. As the first attack was being handled, the brother of the first defendant started attacking another student. However, this was quickly stopped as another student intervened. The first victim was hospitalized with a concussion and a broken blood vessel in one eye, but the second victim was not harmed. Police and the school district continue to investigate the case.
Students at California University of Pennsylvania said that they received text and email alerts at around 9:30 p.m., reporting that shots were fired close to the school. Officials said that a 20-year-old was shot in the leg in the 400 block of 2nd Street in the California borough. The victim was flown by medical helicopter to Pittsburgh Hospital. His name and condition had not yet been released. University officials urged students to lock their doors and windows because the men have not yet been arrested.
CUTV's Tyler DiGiacomo sat down with Coach Bevavino to discuss the women's track and field and cross-country team in this week's Thursday Conversation.
You're in your 4th season this year as head coach of the women's cross-country team and 5th as the head coach of the women's track and field team. Coach, just talk about how it feels coming back to your alma mater and coaching.
When this opportunity, first they had the opportunity to come back up to Clarion High School to work as a guidance counselor and ultimately retire as assistant principal. And the reason I retired was to come here because the opportunity was presented to me to be, possibly be the coach here for cross-country track and field. I personally had such a great experience here that I thought there's no way I couldn't go back there and try to relive some of that, the memorable times I had. So it was just such an attraction I couldn't pass it up.
They're off to a good start this year, had a very good showing at Lehigh this past weekend. Just talk about what you've been happy about this year so far and what they can work on going forward.
I'm happy with effort, and that's all I ever ask of any of my athletes at this point is, all you can do week in and week out is try your hardest. On a flat track, it's easy to compare performances week to week. You're running 400-meter track, you're running a specified distance. There's no hills, there's no, whatever that you have to negotiate in cross country. So it's hard in cross country to actually compare results week to week.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the track and field, the cross country, anything that we have to know about the team?
The girls that are in track will be training from now until May. The girls in cross country have been training, since this summer really, but officially training in August. They'll go to May. And so our team, right now we have 2 separate programs going. We'll all become unified here in end of November and December, and then hopefully that cross-country experience and that unification can carry over into the track and field, and they've set a good example for us and paved the way for an outstanding indoor and outdoor track season.
And Jason Croft joins us now with sports. Jason, I heard that you had a story about the unfortunate loss of the Pirates.
Yes, it is a sad day in Pittsburgh. We have that. We're going to talk about the ALDS Game 5 tonight and some football tonight when we return on CU TV.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Tired of waiting till next summer to get your tan back? Then come on down to Total Body Tanning Center on Main Street.
Fully equipped with 10 beds ranging from basic to the most powerful Star Power, 2 standing beds, and a vanity area. Total Body has everything you need to get that perfect tan.
Choose from a wide array of lotions, body stickers, skinny wraps, and more. Total Body accepts $80, offers monthly specials, and even has a drawing for a free tan for one customer each week. So don't wait till next summer. Come on down to Total Body Tanning Center, located at 535 Main Street, right next to the county seat.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Jason Croft with your Thursday evening sports report. Put away your Jolly Rogers. The Pittsburgh Pirates fell last night in the winner-take-all Game 5 of the National League Divisional Series. After taking the 2-1 series lead, the team fell in Games 4 and 5. In last night's game, the Cardinals took an early 2-0 lead when David Freese hit an eventual game-winning 2-run home run in the second inning off of Pirates starting pitcher Garrett Cole. In the sixth inning, John Jay added one more run on the scorecard, singling Matt Holliday, giving the Cards a 3-0 lead. Adam Wainwright went the distance for the Cardinals and gave up only one hiccup in the affair. Pedro Alvarez drove in Justin Morneau in the top of the seventh inning, bringing the Pirates to within 2 of the Cardinals once again. The Cardinals put away the game in the bottom of the eighth inning when Matt Adams hit a 2-run home run, bringing in himself and Matt Holliday. Later in the inning, Pete Kozma singled in John Jay to bring the Cardinals' lead to 6-1. Wainwright finished the Pirates in the ninth, but not without a fight by the Pirates. Justin Morneau and Marlon Byrd singled, both with 2 outs in the ninth, but Pedro Alvarez went down swinging, officially eliminating the Pittsburgh Pirates from further playoff contention. Who will be the last team into the league championship series? Tune in to TBS at 8 o'clock and find out as the Oakland Athletics host the winner-take-all decisive Game 5 against the visitor Detroit Tigers. Justin Verlander takes the mound for the Detroit Tigers, opposed by Oakland rookie Sonny Gray. This is a rematch of a 1-0 Game 2, which ended on a walk-off in the ninth inning by the Athletics. In his 3 playoff starts against the Oakland Athletics, Tigers pitcher Justin Verlander has given up only 1 run in 23 innings pitched. Also on television tonight, the New York Football Giants look to win their first game after starting the season 0-5. Eli Manning and company take the field against a tough Chicago team. The Bears are tied in the NFC North at 3-2 with the Detroit Lions after failing in their previous 2 matchups. Game time kickoff is at 8:25 and can be seen on the NFL Network. And that is all for sports. Let's send it back to the news desk.
Sad day for Pittsburgh today, Jason.
Yeah, but you know what? Pittsburgh did have a wonderful run this year, so it's good to see smaller teams finally get into the playoffs like Pittsburgh.
Two of the world's top financial officials are warning of serious consequences if the U.S. debt ceiling is not raised soon. U.S. Treasury Secretary Jack Lew told a Senate committee trying to time a debt limit increase to the last minute is very dangerous. At the same time, International Monetary Fund Chief Christine Lagarde says the damage could go beyond U.S. borders. She spoke today in Washington at the annual meeting with the World Bank.
Concerning the U.S., we believe that apart from the urgency of the moment, it's critical that the exit from highly accommodative monetary policy be carefully managed, that the fiscal house of the United States of America be put in order, and obviously we know, and you know by now, that failure to raise the debt ceiling would cause serious damage to the U.S. economy, but also to the global economy as a result of the spillover effect.
Meanwhile, House Speaker John Bonner said Thursday House Republicans will propose a temporary increase in the debt ceiling to allow for negotiations on larger deficit reduction issues. Bonner also said he welcomed a meeting with President Barack Obama planned for later in the day, saying he hoped it would be a substantial discussion on measures to reduce the nation's deficit by adding he didn't want to set any preconditions.
In Pennsylvania, more than 7 years ago, a heavily armed gunman walked into one-room Amish school and opened fire on 10 young girls. 5 of the girls died. The shooter, Charles Carr Roberts, took his own life. Now, Roberts' widow, Marie Monville, has written a book about how she has dealt with her husband's actions. She talked to CNN's Piers Morgan about how she feels about him after all this time.
The thing that stands out to me the most about all of this is that he was angry inside, and the anger ate away at him. And so to me, I knew that I couldn't have a place of anger inside of me. I didn't want anything that was something he had dealt with. And you know, forgiveness isn't something that's automatic and never happens again. It's a continual process.
Did you hate him to start with?
No, I don't know that I hated him. I felt a lot of emotions. I hated what he did, but the man that walked into that schoolhouse that day was not the man that I had been married to for almost 10 years. You know, not the husband that I had seen, not the dad that I knew.
Monville also described the overwhelming support she and her 3 children received from the Amish community where she lived after the shooting.
It has been a day of dramatic and confusing events in Libya. It started before dawn in Tripoli when gunmen grabbed Prime Minister Ali Zidane. The gunmen were members of a militia that works with the Interior Ministry. They released Prime Minister Zidane hours later. CNN's Nick Robertson sums up what happened and what it means.
Well, barely 8 hours after the Prime Minister was kidnapped, as government officials say, he was released. According to sources we've talked to, extreme pressure brought to bear on the militia, the operations room for Libya revolutionaries that took the Prime Minister this morning. They say they were acting legally. They claim that the Prime Minister had been breaking the law because he'd been acting against the country's interests. The Justice Minister said that was rubbish, that the Prime Minister was in fact kidnapped. Now, pressure brought to bear on that militia, the Prime Minister released, but underscoring the fragility of the government here, the strength of the militias, the militia that took the Prime Minister, 100 gunmen breaking into his hotel at the early hours of the morning, not a shot fired, but able to take him away out of this secure hotel. This militia itself, sanctioned by the General National Congress here, the top lawmaking body in Libya, an indication and a concern for many people here. Government ministers I've talked to have been concerned that the arrest of Abu Anas al-Libi over the weekend by U.S. forces here in Tripoli. He is a suspect in the 1998 bombing of the U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania. Concern that his arrest would trigger some kind of backlash, and that's certainly how this kidnapping of the Prime Minister this morning is being read, that this was in a way a reaction to that. Of course, the situation in Libya much more complex, much more multi-layered than that simple arrest of al-Libi over the weekend, and many concerns more broad than that about the Prime Minister. But it very much highlights the situation that the government here doesn't have the writ of law across the whole country, that the militias that have grown in the past 2 years since Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown are still very powerful and can still undermine the best efforts of this government. Nick Robertson, CNN, Tripoli, Libya.
A blind war hero will be among the thousands running the Hartford Half Marathon in Connecticut on Saturday. Retired Air Force Sergeant Michael Malarzi will run the race with a guide. He lost his sight when an improvised explosive device went off in Afghanistan nearly 4 years ago. Instead of being discouraged, he said he used the setback to push him forward. While recovering from his injuries, Michael also found love. He married the widow of a former soldier who died in the same explosion. The couple lives in Texas but traveled to Connecticut so that Michael can run the race with Team Fidelco. That's the organization that gave him his seeing eye dog.
Hopefully, the weather in the upcoming weeks will have a consistent pattern.
Hopefully. I mean, as we take a look at our final outlook at weather, I did mention before that we will be expecting some scattered rain showers, and there's only a 30% chance tomorrow, but I would still take an umbrella just in case. For the rest of your week, it seems like Saturday is going to be cloudy, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday all partly cloudy skies. Wednesday and Friday of next week, we will be expecting some rain, highs in the lower to upper 60s, and lows in the lower 40s to lower 50s. So it seems like we will be expecting some consistencies, but by the end of the week it should be a little bit crazy, but hey, you know, that's just Clarion weather.
That's the news for tonight. Priya Royster and Britt Seahall will be here tomorrow at noon with your week in review.
And don't forget to tune in to CUTV News every weeknight at 6:30.
For everyone here at CUTV, I'm Joe Jackson.
And I'm Angéle Schembri. Stay tuned, Entertainment Lately is up next.